Alrighty, we got an interesting question. Option A says run command checker for all buttons on the page to inspect their logic and visibility rules. Running the command checker is not triggered automatically. We know. Ribbon debug adds the tool to the page. So therefore, wrong answer. We'll move to now option B. B says add the Power Apps checker button to the page for solution wide validation. Power Apps checker validates app components but has nothing to do with ribbon button diagnostics. Wrong answer. We'll move to now option C. C says run Power Apps checker for all buttons on the page to detect performance on design issues. Power Apps checker doesn't analyze ribbon button behavior or command execution. Incorrect. We'll move to now option D. This is add the command checker button to the page to enable inspection of ribbon commands. Command checker is activated by ribbon debug and helps inspect button logic, action and visibility. Looks good? We'll lock option D as the right answer. Alright, now this looks interesting. We'll look first option A. Option A says hide the columns that shouldn't be shown to users but are used in logic. Hiding columns doesn't prevent them from being removed from the form layout. We'll eliminate it. We'll lock option B. We'll move to option B. B says mark all columns as business required to prevent removal. Business is the required status. Business required status enforces data entry but doesn't safeguard script references. Wrong answer. We'll move to C. C says include all referenced columns as non-event dependencies in the form setting. Non-event dependencies are managed at form level, not within individual script files. Wrong choice. We'll move to now option D. D says declare each column used in JavaScript as a dependency within its respective script file. Declaring column dependencies in each JavaScript file ensures those fields are retained during form edits and script execution. We'll lock option D as the right choice. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is about maintainable. The logic should be maintainable by non-developers and shouldn't rely on custom code or plugins. Option E says workflow. Workflow executes server-side logic and doesn't control form behavior. Wrong answer. We'll move to B. B says subgrid. Subgrid displays related data but doesn't implement conditional logic. We'll reject it. We'll move to C. C says business rule. Business rule enables form level logic that can be configured and modified without writing JavaScript or using plugins. We'll keep this. We'll move to D. D says flow. Flow automates external actions but cannot modify form level logic or visibility. We'll delete this. We'll lock option C, business rule, as the right answer. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is a multiple choice question. We need to select two correct answers. Option E says Azure function that uses the discovery service. Discovery service retrieves environment metadata but doesn't execute automation logic. Incorrect. We'll move to B. B says workflow extension. Workflow extension is limited in flexibility and not perfect for modern event driven automation. We'll delete this. We'll move to now C. C says Azure function that uses a listener. Azure function with a listener enables scalable event based automation for referral triggers. Let's keep it. We'll move to D. D says Power Automate Flow. Power Automate Flow allows low code automation for referral actions across services. Another correct answer. Will lock C and D as the right answers. Alrighty, now let's look at this question. This is about asynchronous operation. Option A, if we look, alert blocks execution and is less suitable for asynchronous error handling. Incorrect. We'll move to B. Option B, if you look, server.get last error is invalid in JavaScript and is used in server side C sharp. Well, rejected. Let's move to option C. If you look at option C, catch block with console.writeLine is syntactically incorrect in JavaScript. Again, wrong answer. We'll move to now option D, which is the only option left. And if you look here, callback style error function logs messages in asynchronous operations like promises or xrm.web API calls. So that being said, option D is the right answer. We'll lock it. Alright, now let's look at this question. Option A, if you look, add-on load triggers the function when the form loads, allowing event data to be populated immediately. Let's keep it. We'll move to option B. If you look at option B, remove on load detaches a function and doesn't execute any logic. Wrong answer. We'll move to now option C. See, if you look, add-on save runs on form save, not during initial load. Incorrect. We'll move to now option D. Option D, if you look, add-on pre-process status change handles status transitions, not form load actions. Let's delete it. Lock option A, form context.data.add-on load my function as the right answer. Okay, let's look at this question. This is about trigger logic when the form loads. Option A, if you look, says form.context.data.entity add-on save my function. Add-on save runs after form submission and cannot initialize fields on load. Incorrect. We'll move to option B. Option B, if you look, add-on load attaches a function that runs when the form loads, enabling dynamic field behavior and initialization. Looks good. Let's keep it. We'll move to now option C. C says remove on load. Remove on load detaches a function and doesn't trigger any logic. Let's delete this. We'll move to the last option. Add-on preprocess status change handles status transitions, not form load actions. Wrong answer. We'll lock option B as the correct choice. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is all about validating that the phone entry contains only numeric characters before submission. Option A says is blank. Is blank checks for empty input but doesn't validate numeric content. Let's reject it. Option B says is type. Is type checks data type but doesn't confirm numeric only values. Wrong answer. Let's move to option C. C says plain text. Plain text removes formatting but doesn't validate numeric input. Incorrect. We'll move to D. D says is numeric. Is numeric confirms that the phone entry contains only numbers, which is essential for valid phone data. We'll lock option D is numeric as the right answer. Alright, now let's look at this question. This is about tracking and converting visitor data into leads. Option A says Power Automate flow that connects with the bike fare Power Apps app to create a lead in Dynamics 365 sales. Power Automate flow integrates the event app with Dynamics 365 sales to create leads from visitor data. Let's keep it. Let's move to option B. B says Power Automate flow that generates a new customer record in SharePoint. Creating a customer record in SharePoint doesn't support lead tracking in Dynamics 365 sales. We'll delete this. We'll move to now option C. C says Power Automate flow to capture customer data from the bike fare Power apps in the SharePoint and create a lead in Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is not designed for storing or managing lead data, therefore wrong answer. We'll move to D. D says business process flow in Dynamics 365 sales for capturing leads. Business process flow guides lead stages but doesn't capture data from external apps. Incorrect. We'll lock option A as the right answer. Alright, now let's look at this question. Option A says filter. Filter returns all customer records that meet the specified condition, which is perfect for list based views. Let's keep it, because that's what this question is looking for. Option B says find locates values but doesn't return structured records. Incorrect. We'll move to option C. C says lookup returns only one record, not suitable for displaying multiple matches. We'll delete this. We'll lock option A filter as the right answer. So please don't go away. Let's meet in next part of the series.